In this video, we're going to continue our discussion with inference about two means-dependent samples. So let's talk about the confidence interval for the population mean difference of matched pairs. So a confidence interval of the mean of the differences is given by the upper and lower bound given below. Note, the interval is exact when the population is normally distributed and approximately correct for non-normal populations, provided that n is large. So let's take a look at an example. Construct a 99% confidence interval for the mean difference for the two trials of the toy assembly example. Interpret the results. So the requirements for the confidence interval is exactly the same as the hypothesis testing for two populations dependent samples. And since we've already written out the requirements prior to, I'm not going to write them out again. So how do we put this into the calculator? So let's do that now. So first, you want to put the differences in L1, like I have here. So once you've done that, click on Stat, highlight Tests, and we're going to go all the way down to T interval. That's number 8. Hit Enter. It's going to be data here. It's L1. Frequency is 1. Change the percent confidence to a decimal. Highlight Calculate, and hit Enter. So we'll stick a 0 at the end for the lower bound. Okay? And I'm going to write this on the paper now. Okay, so T interval and then data, comma, L1, comma, 1, comma, 0.99. And I've written the confidence interval below. So I'm going to write out the interpretation now. We are 99% confident that the mean difference for the two trials of the toy assembly is between negative 2.670 seconds and 26.384 seconds inclusive. Now, instead of it asking to interpret the result, what happens if it asks this question? Does the confidence interval show that there is a difference between the two trials? So here's the thought process. I'm going to put this in parentheses, but I'm going to write out the null and alternative hypothesis for this, just to kind of give you an idea of where I'm going to go with this. And here's the question that you would ask at this particular stage. Does the confidence interval contain 0? Well, go back up. It certainly does contain 0. So here's how I would write out the conclusion for this. Since the confidence interval contains 0, there is not sufficient evidence to conclude that there is a difference between the trials.